Welcome to study session 5, Political Organization. The term political organization does not mean or imply government. Not all political organizations utilize a government. Anthropologists refers to political organization as those aspects of social organization specifically concerned with the management of a society's public policy. That is, the way power is distributed and embedded in society, and the way power is used to coordinate and regulate behavior so that order is maintained. Learning outcomes. At the end of this session, you should be able to 1. Define and use correctly all the key words printed in bold. 2. Describe who has power. 3. Distinguish between power and authority. 4. Identify how power is organized and administered. 5. Explain how conflict is organized. Power and authority. Power is the ability to control or direct something or someone. Sometimes, people have the right to use power. Sometimes, they do not. For example, when a thief robs you at gunpoint, he has the power to do so. He does not have the right. Authority. Authority is power combined with the right to use that power. The right to use power usually comes from laws, customs, or principles of morality. For example, police officers have the authority to arrest a person because the law gives them that right. Congress has the right to pass a law because the Constitution gives it that right. Power and maintenance of order. Political organization refers to the way power is distributed and embedded in the societies. This organization maintains order through social control by using joke, riddle, and derision to keep deviant behavior in check. People can also be ostracized from a group as a means to punish people with deviant behavior. Eric Wolf identifies 4 modalities of power, which are 1. Potency, capability, and charisma. 2. Ability of person to impose its will in social action upon another. 3. Tactical or organizational power. 4. Structural power. Power is the ability to bring about results. Power may be informal and based on force. It can also be coercive or persuasive. Authority. Authority is socially recognized as the right to exert power. Legitimacy is the socially recognized right to hold, use, and allocate power. How power is organized and administered. Early anthropologists were preoccupied with political organizations of British, India, and Africa. How are people ruled without a state? Victorian Europe, and the appearance of the modern nation state, and the idea of acephalous societies, that is, society without heads. Anthropologists define political organization as those aspects of social organization specifically concerned with the management of society's public policy. That is, the way power is distributed and embedded in society, and the way power is used to coordinate and regulate behavior so that order is maintained. The early evolutionary scheme matched with subsistence strategies. For example, we see political organization like band, tribe, chiefdom, and state, according to different types of political organization related to different subsistence strategy. Population density and heterogeneity, degree of hierarchy and social stratification, presence of bounded territory, and degree of formalization of rule. In a political system, sequence can be replaced with contrast between uncentralized and centralized political systems. For instance, replacing evolutionary perspective with ethnographic present or historical perspective. Bands and tribes of a political system is associated with subsistence level economies such as foraging, small homogeneous populations, little social stratification, relatively enormous groups, often relatively mobile, without strict territorial boundaries, where formal leader or organization beyond kinship are rare. Tribal system consists of separate bands or villages integrated through lineages, clans, age grades, or other associations, cross-cutting kinship and territory. Tribal system is often associated with farming or herding subsistence strategies, that is, greater food production. Tribal system is not based on centralized leadership. Choice of a leader is typically someone respected for wisdom or prowess, that is, charisma and big men. Group decisions are made by consensus, but leaders may influence such through oratory power. In tribes and lineages, the following are to be noted. One maximal lineage, that is, tribe. Two major lineages, that is, families. Three minor lineages, that is, fathers' houses. And lastly, minimal lineages, that is, extended patrilocal households. The state is the most formal form of political organizations and is one of the hallmarks of civilization. Here, political power is centralized in a government which may legitimately use force to regulate the affairs of its citizens. The state is characterized with increased food production, that is, agriculture and industry, irrigation and transformation of landscape, increased population, fixed territory, developed market system, appearance of cities and developed urban sector. The state came with the appearance of bureaucracy, military, usually an official religion, delegation of authority to maintain order, right to control information. Authority is formal and impersonal, that is, office holder and the person. The state is characterized with more wealth, more people, more inequality and ranking, less reliance on kinship, more internal and external conflict, increased power and responsibility to leaders, increased burden to citizens to support political organization, and increased use of formal legal structures for adjudication. The nation, that is, state. Modern nation-state is a more recent phenomenon that has appeared as long as the end of World War II. They are communities of people who see themselves as one people on the basis of common ancestry, history, society, institutions, ideology, language, territory, and often religion. Nation and nationality. Nation was once a term that referred to tribe, indigenous people, or ethnic group, collectively sharing single language, religion, history, territory, ancestry, and kinship. The nation, social structure, and national identity. This is based upon sentiments of prestige, extend deep into the masses of political structures located in the field of politics. Groups who hold the power to steer common conduct within a polity will strongly instill themselves with this ideal favor of power prestige. The state, the nation, and ethnicity. The idea that nation and state coincides is rare. The appearance of ethnicity and the rise of the nation-state, responsible for the rise and definition of social entities called ethnic groups. Political organization and ethnicity. Ethnicity is founded upon structural inequalities among the similar groups, which result into a single political entity based on cultural differences and similarities perceived as shared identification with a part of an ethnic group and exclusion from certain other groups because of this affiliation. How conflict is organized. Us and them, using Bedouin proverb. I against my brother, I and my brother against our cousin, I, my brother, and our cousin against the neighbors, all of us against the foreigners. This proverb is based on complementary or balanced position. Plural ethnic state. This entails different structure of state, like 1. Pluralist model, which treats groups as permanent and enduring. Here, the group has rights. 2. Cosmopolitan model, which accepts shifting boundaries, multiple affiliations, and hybrid identities. Here, there is individual right. 3. Accommodation of immigrant ethnicity and minority nationalism. 4. Stateless nations, ethnic nationalism versus indigenous groups. Nations within groups that formed complete and functional societies on their historic homeland before being incorporated into a larger state. They could have been typically involuntary by colonization, conquest, and so on. The causes of ethnic conflicts. 1. Assimilation. 2. Apartheid. 3. Diaspora. 4. Ethnocide. 5. Genocide. Anthropology of war. The materialist or ecological school view about causes of pre-state warfare is largely found in the material foundations of the cultural system. The biocultural school view about causes of war is ultimately found in a combination of ecological and biological elements. The third is the historical school, which view about war is found in the specific historical context of the events in question and personal motivations of the people involved in those events. Anthropology of violence. The 17th century philosopher Thomas Hobbes asserts that violence is the art of all humans. Society, however, stands as the alternative to violence. Analytically, violence is an extremely wide and diverse phenomenon. It could begin from small-scale situations to large-scale of infliction, experience, and violence may even be justified in families, villages, neighborhoods, gangs, combat groups, committees, presidential advisory groups, and so on. This insight helps us to question humankind as a whole. What is it in the makeup of humans that makes us violent animals given to intra-species aggression? Violence, looking at its forms and controls, is fundamental to human social existence and is central to theories regarding the nature of society. For example, violence can be as cultural expression and/or performance, that is, scripted like acting a drama. From anthropology of identity, that is, political organization, violence can be culturally embedded for experience, emotive forces, and bodily practices. When violence becomes a cultural practice, it is not just an instrument. Finally, violence can be as a way of affirming and subverting culture. Study session summary. In study session 5, you have learned 1. Political organization refers to the way power is distributed and embedded in the societies. 2. Power is the ability to bring about results. Power may be informal and based on force. It can also be coercive power or persuasive power. Symbolic power based on positive expectations of those who accede to it. 3. Authority is socially recognized as the right to exert power. 4. Power is organized and administered through political organizations. 5. Conflict is organized through dichotomy of us and them and plural ethnic states. We have now come to the end of study session 5. Thanks for listening.